Why hasn't he dropped a video? It's been 2 weeks. What the hell have you been doing? As you know, it's summertime and things get pretty busy and it gets hot and you tend to procrastinate a lot. And I mean a lot. Don't judge me if I watched a lot of anime when I should have been working on my game. Skipping to the fun part. Sound effects. Every game has them and every game needs them. The reason sound is so important in a game is because it gives the player feedback, that driven emotion, and a cue to let the player know that something is about to happen in the game. Okay, so let's see if I can break down sound for you. Sound frequency can also be referred to as a pitch. It's basically the number of times per second that a sound pressure wave repeats itself. Which brings us into sound envelopes. So, the sound envelope is actually the waveform. You can think of it as being broken up into 4 parts. You have the attack, the decay, the sustain, and the release. Attenuation will be the reduction in the strength of a signal as you get farther or closer to the source of sound. Now you're probably asking yourself, okay, why are you telling me all this? Did I apply all this information in my game? Why yes I did. After understanding the necessary information to make sound in my game, I popped open Audacity and I got to work. There were so many different sounds in my game that I had to start creating. It was a little exhausting. So I could have used many things around my home to make sound effects, and I could also go online and find sound effects that were downloadable. So I quickly found out that the hardest sound effects that I was going to make were the chameleons and the toucan. After a little bit of time, I think I found what I was looking for, except I don't exactly sound like a toucan, so it might sound strange at first, but I can add some different effects like reverb, echo, fade in, fade out, change up the tempo, and get the sound that I'm really trying to picture in my head. Okay, so let's try and set the tone for the game. So the map starts out in the rainforest, so let's get some of that rainforest ambiance going. I found some rainforest background noise online and it fits perfectly and very smoothly with the game. I don't know about you, but this kind of makes me feel very calm and at one with nature. So I didn't want to spend too much time messing around with sound, so let's move on to the next thing. Preparing my game for localization, or preparing the language in other countries or regions. I can't stress enough how important localization is in your game, because it also increases sales and downloads, but this also tells your players how much you care about them by adding different languages in your game. No matter where you're located at in the world, you need to let people know that you care about them, and you also care enough about them to add their native language. So I only wanted to implement 8 different languages. I might add more in the future, but this is a really good starting point. So in Unity, I'm using an asset called Lean Localization. It's a really great tool, and I'll leave a link down in the description below. So using this asset, I didn't realize I would have to translate every single word, but it'll all be worth it in the end. So I'm going through each scene in the game and translating just about every single word, except for some sentences. So I got most of the translation done. Now let's talk about the demo release. So We Hidden is very close to completion, so I thought it was about time to have a demo release out. So I decided to put the game out on itch.io for some feedback and criticism. Now, if you've been following my work, then you know I really appreciate all your comments, criticisms, and some opinions, suggestions in the comment section. So for the demo, I only wanted to do the single player mode and practice mode. I didn't want to add in the online features just yet because this is just a demo. It's just something for you guys to test out and tell me what you guys think about the game. Now, I've never actually released any games on itch.io, so this was my first time, and I'm still learning the workarounds of this website, so hopefully I get a lot of feedback. Originally, I wanted to put the demo out on newgrounds.com. Now, newgrounds.com only accepts Flash games, so I tried, or should I say I attempted, to make We Hidden into a WebGL, and that did not turn out correctly. I think it might be because the game is a little bit too big and I did not optimize it correctly. So what I decided to do instead was just post some images and GIFs so that way people on Newgrounds can see it, and I put a link in the description of the images and GIFs so that way the traffic would reroute its way back to itch.io. By even putting my game out there on the internet for the world to see, this also helps build an audience for the game, which thus leads into the marketing of We Hidden. As far as marketing goes, I'm planning on using every single tool I can possibly get my hands on, which involves Kickstarter and also using Steam. Also, a reminder, I'm releasing this game for mobile and Steam only. Recently, I started working on the Steam page and I paid that ridiculous $100 fee to set up a page on Steam. So I'm just waiting to get approved. As a game dev, I can personally say that we never hit our deadlines. I am way past the deadline for this game. I did not expect to be making it for this long, but I'm not working on this full time, so there are some exceptions. But me watching anime is definitely not one of those exceptions. So that's basically what I got done in these last 2 weeks. So that means I'm gonna have to crank up my development process and content output up by a lot. So if you stuck around to the end of this video, you might as well just smack that bell, subscribe, and like this video. And thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.